Hey everyone, I'm Megan.
I'm Rachel.
And this is Galpash, and yes, this is episode 3 of Handmaid's Tale. You might be wondering, hey guys, where's episode 2? We're still editing it because we had a little bit of an error.
A human error.
Yeah. But
it happens.
But we'll get that uploaded, so yes, episode 3 will be loaded before episode 2. But we're getting to it, so let's get to episode 3 of The Handmaid's Tale.
Indeed.
So, woo!
I didn't even know her name.
Is this the last we see of her? No! Really? The most interesting character? This is the last we see of her?
Lachlan is gone.
Oh, motherfucker. No. We need more queer ladies. This isn't fair. I miss her. Already.
Queer ladies get taken down quickly. Noticed?
Now I'm awake to the world. I was asleep before.
I know the song. What? Peaches.
So key is running again.
Could you come back when you have some money?
Hey, yeah, what's your problem? Just want this car. Forget it. I'll just call from work.
What's your problem?
What the fuck?
Fucking sluts, get the fuck out of here.
What did you just excuse me? You just call us fucking slut? Are you serious, dude? Like, why is it just the women?
I don't have a choice.
Roger.
That's something you keep hearing. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. Like, it's not me. I don't have to take responsibility for this. I don't have a choice, so I'm just gonna abide by everything that people tell me to do. It's fucking sick. So you make women powerless by taking away their money and their means to have money. So you remove all independence. So they have to be dependent on men because they have no money. They can't work. So you're forcing them into relying.
Yep. Back into a position that they were in so long ago.
Thank you.
Under his eye.
Under your fucking ass.
Putting women back in the ways of being cattle. Herding them along from place to place.
Thank you. You're welcome.
What the fuck is happening?
I even found some cinnamon. I swapped for it.
Is this
For
the
a lot of cheese.
is this the Twilight Zone? What is happening?
We're also hopeful. Hopeful? You haven't asked for your napkins yet this month.
Oh.
You're just a few days late, and you wonder.
Oh. So she hasn't had her period yet.
No, she hasn't had her period.
How do you feel?
Fertile? I feel fertile?
So you're finish your lunch every bite now. You need to be in the clean plate club.
Like cattle. She looks so startled. She's like, what the hell? All of a sudden, you wouldn't be very hungry.
No. She's like, So I've been trying to find the reason why I've been on my phone. I've been trying to find the date in which women were
No
finally
longer considered property.
property. But what's important is within relatively recent history, women have only really been able to open credit cards under their own names. Because I'm not certain, that's why I'm trying to check it, but even in the 60s, a woman couldn't open her own credit card unless she had her husband's approval. Like, she had to have her husband's support in doing that. So, yeah, I have so much to talk about when it comes to her past with them slowly getting into this crazy shit.
Where they're well, yeah, because it's often not. I can't remember much in the book as far as like. I know that she talks a little bit about the chase. She talks about, there's changes, but she doesn't really go into much detail that I can recall on how it was. It was, like she said, it was subtle. It was like they barely noticed it was coming until it was too late.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to see. I mean, you saw when she was running the looks like the lady gave her, and then, the one guy calling her a slut who's, like, customer service just went right the fuck out the window right there on that moment. Yeah. So it's crazy.
He loves me.
No. No.
He loves me so much.
No. That's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Who?
I feel so bad for her.
Me too.
Because she wants...
She's, I think, delusional.
She wants normalcy. She wants what she had. She wants the world to be what it was before. She wants there to be a world where people love you and take care of you. And they're not, just trying to make babies with you to boot you out of the house, to pass you off to whatever new commander needs help.
Real quick. In the 1960s, a bank could refuse to issue a credit card to an unmarried woman. Even if she was married, her husband was required to co-sign. As recently as the 1970s, credit cards in many cases were issued with only a husband's signature.
Did you get a chance to visit with your
This
friend?
changed in 1974.
Jesus.
1974.
Permission? Okay. Did Warren seem well?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid what we do together is so terrible.
Is she admitting that it's bad?
It's terribly hard, and we must remain strong.
Ooh, it's terrible.
Which is
Terribly
why it's
hard.
blessed to have you.
I'm beginning to hate her less because she actually understands that it's all fucked.
Everyone does, honey.
I don't think so. I think
Some people...
some of the wives are totally accepting of their position.
Some people are more comfortable with their reality because they've just come to accept it, but there are those who just know that it's the life that they have to fit certain roles.
What the fuck?
Tell them everything.
What the fuck?
Nick.
Whatever they want to know, just tell them.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
So they're saying husband or male next of kin?
So if you're lesbian, fuck you!
Basically.
You know, they needed to do it this way. All the bank accounts and the jobs all at the same time. You imagine the airports otherwise? They don't want us leaving. You can bet on that.
I'll take care of you.
Oh.
That's not what he's saying.
What? What's wrong?
Nothing. It sounds a little
Being
patronizing.
so
Yeah.
fucking patronizing.
No, bring it on. I want to hear why I shouldn't take care of my wife.
My wife?
Yeah.
She doesn't belong to you.
That's right.
No. She isn't your property, and she doesn't need you to take care of her.
You say it, Moira.
You want to take care of us because we're weak, right? Because we're less than.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying.
I'll take care of your money.
Yeah.
I'll take care of your body.
You really got a fucking problem, you know that?
He can't understand. He didn't just have all of his rights stripped from him.
No, you.
As much as they can kid about it, it's serious. And he
Well,
doesn't...
and that's-
He gets that, but he can't.
Well, and that's the thing with, and as much as I love my guy friends and my guy family members, you can't really understand it. You can't. And
Because you're not in that position, which is, I mean, good for you for not fucking being in position, but the rest of us are.
yeah. And this is why it's so important for men to support women and to
Yes.
support women's autonomy and to support women's independence and their freedom, because there might be a time when we can't, so we need you to stick up for us when we can't.
Yeah.
Like this.
Be our rock. Don't be the rock that gets put up in the wall around us.
Good saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew what she was.
I knew she was gay.
Oh, fuck.
not to be used. Do you understand?
Gay. Gay. Gay.
That thing was an offense to God.
Oh, fuck you.
Go
Oh.
fuck yourself.
Oh, right here, lady.
Seriously, sit and spin on it, honey.
Blessed are those who suffer for the cause
Oh, no.
of righteousness. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. You're getting ballsy. That's dangerous. Oh, shh.
Because they think she might be pregnant. Yep, now you've committed a great,
Is she actually pregnant, though?
if she is. No, I'm saying, even with the suspecting that she might be pregnant,
Congratulations on your blessed miracle.
then she's
We
in,
have all the information that we need.
I can't go to my house.
and she's in trouble. You can't harm a woman when she's pregnant.
Even if you don't know she's pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hope you rot in jail. You bitch. Fuck.
Yeah, this way they get to
We'll have order, please.
say it's like a real
Mr.
trial.
Gamble for the state. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, what a trial it is where your defendant is bound and gagged who can't...
With gender treachery in violation of Romans chapter 1, verse 26, by his word.
And you swear by his name that the report you have submitted is the truth entirely?
Yes, I do so swear.
Is that her Martha that she was
In the name
with?
of God and his servants here on earth, the accused are hereby found guilty.
That's
I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're stuck in this situation. Oh. Oh. Are they gonna hang her? Shit.
let go. Gotta let go.
For those who've never watched this channel before, I am the weepy one of the two of us, so this will probably happen more than once. That hit really close to home.
Check if you're okay.
Yeah.
Are they using live rounds against people? Oh shit.
Who's gonna stand against them when they're willing to gun down protesters? When all of a sudden protesting doesn't mean anything. Because they'll kill you anyway.
Civil unrest and peaceful protests only work if the people in power have a conscience. If the people who have power have no heart, then they don't. No amount of protesting will matter.
You'd have to have the entire nation rise up. And after the bullets start flying, people are way too afraid for that.
This is hard. She did like her.
You will not leave this room, do you understand me?
So much for being compassionate.
Do you understand me?
Yes, Mrs. Weatherford.
Maybe it's your husband who's not potent. Maybe that's why.
That can't be it, honey. All men are potent, and it's just the women's fault.
What the fuck did they do to her? What the fuck?
They took...
What did they... Did they take her...
Yes. Not her womb.
Her
The stitches will come
clitoris.
out in a few days. You won't want what you cannot.
Oh, gouge her eyes out. Spit in her face.
Nothing fruit, dear.
It's pretty fucked up.
That's incredibly fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That was a difficult episode to watch. You
don't say, honey.
There's a lot to unpack with this episode. There's a lot to talk about because it's so... Oh, there's just so much.
It's so heavy.
It is very heavy. There's the protests, the ineffective protesting against a heartless oppressor. There's the gender traitor factor where they just sentenced to death for being gay.
Yep.
Oh man.
Like I said, I even said, like, you know, for the males, they get sentenced, I'm sure, right away. They're already, they get put that they're, you know, gonna be put to death, hung and everything. But for females who can still produce children, you know, they'll keep them around. But for the females who can't, like the Marthas.
Yeah. So, all of that aside, how did you think of this episode?
It was very good. It's much more detailed than the book. The book, I mean, obviously, like I said, they talked about the fact that it was a slow progression, but you didn't get, like huge highlights, you know, like you did with this, like about how it worked with all their jobs. Like, she talked about that sort of thing happening, but it's totally different getting to see it versus being told kind of about it.
It makes it brings it home.
Yeah.
It seeing them live a life that's very much like ours. It's very like they have jobs, they live, they're going on runs together, they're getting coffee. It's very relatable.
Yeah.
And then you see them enduring this gradual deterioration of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that they bring in, like, things like terrorist attacks and things like that, it's really especially relatable because that would be very easy to do to, you know, just, you know, take care of DC where we were getting so many progressive things were happening. Were happening. And, and, you know, taking care of that so that way their laws can't interfere any longer and...
Yeah.
And groups just taking over with weapons, just buying a shit ton of weapons and...
Well, and I have to say, recently there has been news about churches and religious organizations being granted the authority to have their own police forces, where they can essentially take the law into their own hands, at least on their property.
You know, and everyone was protesting it when African American churches wanted to do that, but now that it's going to be all the churches.
Yeah, so if you allow one church to have a private police force, and I'm not saying security, I'm not saying that even some neighborhoods, they have their own hired security. That's different because with a hired security, they still answer to the law. Yep. Everything defaults to the local police department. That's them. This is specifically like, this is you. Like, this is your jurisdiction. And that's scary to think about because people don't really think about, like, oh, it's just a church. It's just a church. Flip that on its head and be like, what's can you imagine the outrage if it was any other religious group, and I am tap dancing around one specific religion here. Can you imagine if a specific religion in America said, we want to have our own private police force operating? No, that would not happen. People would lose their mind.
And all that other stuff,
People would lose their mind. So the hypocrisy of it is palpable.
Yeah.
But I can't help but see the similarity of just
there's a reason why there should be a separation of church and state.
Yeah, and that's chipping away slowly but surely. Again, gradual. It's gradual and it's scary
because it's possible. I mean, people are very complicit and they just kind of go with the flow as long as it doesn't mess up with their lives. And given the fact that, you know, when you're a minority in even like being LGBT and everything in the minority, and you make up 10% of the population, and then you're being told that the other populations who have religious, you know, reservations about servicing you, like when it comes to hospitals and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
that's where I take issue. Private companies, I don't take issue. But when it's like things that deal with like where, you know, sometimes you have no call on where you get transported. It's the nearest hospital, and it might be a religious hospital that wouldn't want me to come and visit, you know? So
yeah. I could be on my deathbed and they won't let you in.
I'll fight them tooth and nail. I will go. No, they're gonna have
arrest me.
No, they're gonna have to bloody me. It's not even arresting me. They're gonna have to fucking bloody me.
Well, and so with the Johnson Amendment being looked at as a possible thing that might soon be taken away in some distant future. For those who don't know what the Johnson Amendment is, I think I might be messing up the name of it. It says that religious organizations cannot openly support political candidates or political movements.
I mean, they do now, and no one really finds them.
You're not supposed to. Yeah. But the thing that this will do is open them up also for financial support. So this would open for openly saying we support this candidate. And that's also dangerous because if you're telling your congregation and you're telling all of your followers to follow one person, you open the door to saying, well, you're not a true follower if you don't support this candidate. It's just a slippery slope, and it's bad, and it's not good. So again, separation of church and state is really fucking important.
I agree.
So please, support organizations that fight for the separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Because that's how this shit happens.
Yep.
Is when that wall breaks down, and that's bad.
Agreed.
But we have been talking quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to end this here, or else we'll just keep talking, because this is something I feel very passionate about.
We've definitely got a lot to say on this topic, but I would like to say that we are not saying, like, that any religion in particular is, like, evil or doing awful things or whatever. No. What we're saying is there's a reason why it should be kept separate, because we don't all believe the same things.
Yes.
So we shouldn't be governed by a single organization's laws.
Yes. You can have your faith, and you can have your church, and you can have that life you want to live, and I will fight to defend your right to live that way.
We already do.
Yes. However, when your way of life starts bleeding into mine and bleeds into our laws and our legislation, and and my rights, then no, that's not good, and that's what this is about. So feel free, have your religion, have your faith, believe, but don't push that shit on others.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But anyway, I'm Rachel.
I'm Megan, and we're gonna cool down a little bit.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.